365 Sports.
Welcome back to 365 Sports Mizzou, presented by Rogue Media Network. My name is Davis Wilson. We're talking Mizzou sports, hoops for the most part right now. Once again, Missouri fighting for an opportunity to play in the March Madness NCAA tournament. And they last night went a long way in hopefully securing a bid to make the tournament. Missouri hosted top 25 ranked Tennessee, who had won 4 straight and 8 of their last 9 games. And Missouri wins 73-69, an incredible effort by a couple of these players that I'll talk about in a little bit. Missouri went down big early. It was like 12-2 to start this game. Missouri storms back. And it is a rock fight. It's an absolute rock fight for a lot of it. Both defenses it was a physical game, tough game. Defenses were playing well. But Missouri wins it 73-69. They moved to 19-9 overall. They're 9-6 now, I believe, in the SEC. And to me, we'll talk about where other people see it, how other people see it in a little bit. But to me, this looks like a tournament team. They've come such a long way. And before I even talk about this game, I think actually, let's talk about the game first, and then I'll do this. So Missouri wins at 73-69. It was 29-26 Tennessee at halftime, so a low-scoring start to the game. It picks up a little bit in the second half, but the defense was outstanding in this game, really. It was outstanding. Missouri, we talked about it in our pregame show yesterday. Tennessee has 2 guys who are really going to score a lot for you. It's Jacoby Gillespie and it's Nate Ament. They both got their points. Jacoby Gillespie scored 19 points, had 4 assists, pretty good on paper, but he shot 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 12 from 3. I think Missouri just did an excellent job with him. And I think a lot of the credit there should go to T.O. Barrett, Anthony Robinson. I mean, they pressured these guys, these guards for Tennessee all night long. Nate Ament, who's going to be a lottery pick this year, had 17 points on 5 of 14 shooting. One of his down game, honestly, one of his least effective games, despite scoring 17. Trent Pierce, I think, did a really good job on him. I also think that, I think Trent Burns deserves a lot of credit for what he did down low. He had 4 steals. Trent Burns had 4 steals. And it felt like he should have had a couple blocks just because of the way that he kind of deters players from getting to the rim. Like there was one possession where he was just in the rim, like you couldn't do anything. And then he cleared out, and Gillespie saw that he cleared out and took advantage of it. Like he was a real force in the paint. And Trent Burns has turned into a player that is a rotation guy and honestly might be the big man that you feel best about right now. I mean, Sean Phillips played 21 minutes, didn't score, only grabbed 2 rebounds, had a block and 2 steals. Trent Burns played 19 minutes, scored 4 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and finished with 4 steals. I think Trent Burns is turning into a player right in front of our eyes. We've been waiting for this kind of for years now, 2 years now, for Trent Burns to get out there and play. And he's playing, and not only is he playing, but I think you should feel pretty good about the way he's playing. He's not going to be a guy who's going to score much. But it's hard to score in the paint when there's a 7'5" man trying to stop you from scoring. And that's what Trent Burns gives you. He rebounds pretty well. I think his hands were outstanding. Like I said, 4 steals. And there were still some times where both he and Sean Phillips, a rebound bounced off their hands. And it was gosh, I think for the most part, Missouri rebounded okay. They got rebounded by a pretty large margin. And that, I think, is because at the end of the game, Tennessee was able to grab a bunch of offensive rebounds. They had 18 offensive rebounds, and it felt like maybe 5 or 6 of them came in the last 3 minutes of the game when Missouri really needed it. That's a gripe I have. But, man, it's been – we've gone 5.5 minutes into this episode, and I haven't mentioned T.O. Barrett's offense. A breakout game. T.O. Barrett has obviously been breaking out slowly before our eyes. Like, he scored 21 points against Oklahoma last month. He's kind of been averaging right around – since that game, he's probably averaging right around 15 points a game. He shatters a career high. Scores 28 points. His previous career high was 21, I think, right, against Oklahoma. I think that was his previous career high. He scores 28 points in 36 minutes. I mean, 12 of 17 shooting, didn't take a three. Everything he got was attacking the basket, underneath the basket, being aggressive. Was 4 of 6 from the free throw line, so 2 missed free throws away from scoring 30 points. Had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, did turn the ball over 3 times, and he's still going to do that. He still is going to turn the ball over some. Finished with the steal, though. Just an outstanding game. I haven't seen a Mizzou guard take over a game like that in years. Usually the guys taking over the game are Mark Mitchell. Like, he took over some games. I guess, like, Caleb Grill is as a guard, and Tamar Bates kind of a guard. But, I mean, like, a point guard who just says, I'm not even going to shoot. I'm going to go get layups whenever I want. Tennessee could not guard him. He was unguardable. He was aggressive all game long. Like, I think he just realized these guys can't guard me. And he put on display really nice finishing touch. I mean, I could not be more impressed with this guy. Missouri would not be on the verge of making its 3rd tournament in 4 years if T.O. Barrett had not taken such a step mid-season, if he had not progressed so much in the middle of the season out of nowhere. He has been – I think Mark Mitchell is this team's best player. Mark Mitchell, by the way, 23 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Made some big shots. He seems like he's the king of the and one. Like, he just finishes through contact. Mark Mitchell's the best player on this team. I think T.O. Barrett could be the most – when he plays like this, when he is – because last game against Arkansas, he only had 5 points. So it's not a sure thing that he's going to go out and have a game like this every night. But Missouri's a different team when he – and I'm not saying he has to score 28 points every night, but Missouri's a different team when he's effective. He really is. And he might be the team's most important player in that aspect just because he's incredible at times. And Anthony Robinson hasn't really been the guy on offense that you needed him to be. T.O. Barrett's stepping up and being that guy. So, I mean, incredible game from T.O. Barrett. Incredible game from Mark Mitchell. Anytime at the end of the game, Missouri took about an 8-point lead and then it shrunk real fast. But anytime it looked like Tennessee was going to go on a run, either T.O. Barrett or Mark Mitchell had a tough finish. And I just could not be more impressed with T.O. Barrett. And if this is the T.O. Barrett we get for the rest of the season, I think Missouri's a much better team than it is on paper. I mean, it's just like a whole different kind of thing. But he was unstoppable. He was unguardable. He just gets ahead of steam and finishes. It's unbelievable. Missouri only had 2 guys score in double digits. It was T.O. Barrett and Mark Mitchell, 28 and 23 points respectively. No one else was in double digits. Anthony Robinson was the closest. He had 8 points in 28 minutes off the bench. He was 2 of 6, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Anthony Robinson Jr. is not the scorer we thought he might turn into. He's not on offense, there's a lot to be desired. And at times that has been frustrating. But I do think it is really important to say this guy still has a huge impact on this team. I still think he's the best defender this team has. And Teo Barrett is up there as well. They both defend really well. But I think that Anthony Robinson is the best defender this team has. He was incredible against Jacoby Gillespie. He put a bunch of pressure on this team on Tennessee's backcourt. I think that he is a really crucial part of this team, even though he's not scoring very much. And he had 8 points in this game, and 2 of them were huge back-to-back threes. Missouri was on a run, and it was like the Teo Barrett show. Everything was going well. And then Tennessee nails – this was in the second half. Tennessee drains a three to cut into the lead. And on the other end, Anthony Robinson takes what felt like a 30-footer. It bounces off the rim twice, up in the air, falls for a three. Huge response. And then Missouri gets a stop on the other end. He's open for a three again. He drains it. That was a huge moment in the game. Those 2 threes were huge moments that, I mean, really, it felt to me, and at the time there was a lot of time left still, but it felt like almost not a dagger, but it gave you some confidence. Like Anthony Robinson's hitting threes and giving Missouri a lead. We should feel pretty good about this. I still think he's important. He's playing a lot. He played 28 minutes. That was the 4th most minutes anyone played, despite coming off the bench. So I still like him. And, I don't think you can hold out hope for him becoming the scorer that you thought he might be before the season, but I still think you can count on him to play really hard every night and defend hard every night, and maybe score a little bit here and there. Jacob Cruz also off the bench at 13 minutes, 4 points. All of them were from the free throw line. Made some really, really big free throws late in the game that iced it for Missouri. He's not playing as much as he was before, but still came in and made a couple big free throws. Very important. Trent Burns off the bench, 19 minutes, which I think that would be a season high for him. Yes, that is a season high for him. Scores 4 points, 7 rebounds, led the team in rebounding, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, led the team in rebounding. Really impressive minutes for him. Trent Pierce had 30 minutes, scored just 6 points. Both of them were threes. Missouri was 0 of 10 from 3 in the first half. And then Trent Pierce knocked down a three, I think, to make it 1 of 12, maybe 1 of 11 from 3. Made it 2 threes in the second half. And then he played great. I mean, his defense was great. He really, really affected Nate Ament, who again is a really dangerous scorer. And I thought Trent Pierce's defense was excellent in that game. Jaden Stone, 18 minutes, 0 points. Didn't make a shot, obviously. Didn't play a ton. Sometimes that's going to happen. And I think that is one of the reasons why having Anthony Robinson is good, because you can still go to the 2-guard matchup, especially when Teo Barrett's scoring like that. Anthony Robinson's kind of a perfect, off-ball player that you can rely on for defense. But Jaden Stone, maybe slumping a little bit. Scored 10 points against Arkansas, but it was all in one half, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Jaden Stone scoring 0 points and you still winning and still beating Tennessee at home is a pretty good sign for the rest of your team, I think. Missouri shot 47% from the field, 24% from 3, ended up making 4. They shot 77% from the free throw line. For the first time all season, I think they outshot their opponent from the free throw line. Tennessee was 8 of 14, 57%. Missouri was out-rebounded big time. We knew Tennessee was a really great rebounding team, and they showed it on the offensive glass. they had me really stressed out there at the end. They just couldn't get a rebound. But didn't matter. Missouri came away with it anyway. Missouri had 9 steals, only turned the ball over 8 times. They forced 15 turnovers. They scored 23 points off of those 15 turnovers. That's massive. Tennessee will turn the ball over quite a bit, and Missouri is prone to forcing turnovers. So this was kind of an ideal matchup in that regard. Missouri only led for 28% of this game. Didn't take a lead until the second half, I'm pretty sure. Or no. They took a lead in the first half, I think. But regardless, just a really impressive win. This is a really impressive win. Look, I think that the job Dennis Gates is doing, especially after all the criticism he got in the beginning of the year, which was warranted just because Missouri didn't look good. A lot of the players you thought would look good didn't look good. He got criticism from me too. Like, everybody was kind of wondering what happened in the offseason. Dennis Gates has done a phenomenal job coaching this team. This team felt dead. It felt like there was no chance in hell that Missouri would even compete for a tournament spot after that stretch of games where they lost to Kansas and Illinois and Notre Dame. Like, that month's stretch was like, yeah, this team's not good. The coaching job has been incredible. He's getting a lot out of T.O. Barrett and now Trent Burns, 2 guys that he wasn't getting a lot out of earlier in the year. I just think he deserves a ton of credit for this, and I'm really impressed. I think this is a tournament team, and I didn't think that for a lot of the parts of this season. They've proved to me that this is a tournament team. They have won 5 of their last 6 games. 5 of their last 7 games. In that stretch, they have wins over Mississippi State, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. All of a sudden, Mizzou's resume is really good. They have 5 quad 1 wins. Tennessee, Vanderbilt, I think at South Carolina no, that's quad 2. Sorry. Florida, Kentucky, Auburn. They have a bunch of good wins. They don't have a bad loss inherently. Like, obviously, they got blown out a couple times, but they don't have like a terrible loss. Their worst loss is probably at Notre Dame or Ole Miss. At Ole Miss, one of those two. But Missouri's resume is pretty good. Like, I think they should be a tournament team. If they win one of their next 3 games, I think they're in. Obviously, you hope they would beat both Mississippi State and Oklahoma, because they're better than both those teams. But yeah, I think they should be a tournament team. I think they deserve to be one. KenPom has this team ranked 51st, which is up, I think, 1 from where it was before. I'm not sure how that works, how they decide who moves up and whatnot. Net ranking, they're at 57, which feels like maybe the highest it's been all year. And then Torvik ranking, they're at 47. Joe Lunardi tweeted out his bracketology this morning. He has Missouri as one of the last 4 buys. So in the field, not in the last 4 buys, which is awesome. Just huge win for Missouri. Okay, elsewhere on the bubble, let's see what happened around college football last night. Let's see if we can pull this up. So Arizona State at TCU. TCU did win. So TCU's still hanging around. Definitely right there on the bubble. Let's see. What else do we have? Virginia beat North Carolina State by 29 points. So North Carolina State might be heading back towards the bubble. UCF beat BYU. That is a big win for them. Feels like they are peaking at the right time. BYU is obviously a tournament team. UCF beat them. Let's see. What else do we have? Oklahoma State beat West Virginia. Probably puts a nail in the coffin on West Virginia. Oklahoma State maybe making a case. I don't know if they have enough juice, though. All right, we have next up. We have. Do we have anything else? Oh, Oklahoma at Auburn. Oklahoma beat Auburn. That's huge because it's continually projected that the SEC is only going to get 10 teams in. And for the longest time, Missouri was 11th in all the rankings and whatnot, like the predictive rankings. But Auburn was the team in front of them. Auburn now 15-13 after losing to Oklahoma. So that it was kind of Nevada beat New Mexico. That's another bubble team. And then UCLA beat USC. So there you go. Tonight, there's a couple bubble games to watch. I think you have USF at Rice. Root for Rice there. Texas A&M versus Arkansas. Probably root for Arkansas there. Santa Clara versus St. Mary's. I think those are both. I don't know. I don't know who you should root for there. Maybe Santa Clara. And then Ohio State versus Iowa. Root for Iowa over Ohio State. I think that I'm not sure how much it matters anymore because Missouri's taking care of their own business, but it is still fun to watch the rest of the bubble and see what all is happening. But just to wrap this thing up, huge win for Missouri. Really, really impressive. One of the more impressive wins of the season, I think. Tennessee was as hot as anybody in the country. Again, they'd won 4 straight, 8 of the last 9. They have a lottery pick. They have one of the best scoring guards in the SEC. And Missouri comes away with a win. Behind Tio Barrett's 28 points, Mark Mitchell's 23. Really good defense across the board for Missouri. Maybe their best team defensive game of the season. Impressive, very impressive. And they've got to be feeling pretty good about where they stand right now. If you're Missouri coaches or players and fans too, should feel good. There's kind of a daily article on ESPN that's called Bubble Watch, and there's lock for each conference. They do locks and they do should be in. They do work to do, and then I think they do like a long shot or something. But Missouri for the longest time was in the work to do category. After last night's win, they improve to the should be in category. So there you go. That's good news for Missouri. Coming up, Missouri travels to Starkville to play Mississippi State at 12 o'clock on Saturday on SEC Network. That's a game Missouri should win, although going on the road is never easy, and they've got to deal with Josh Hubbard, one of the best guards in the SEC. So not a given, but Missouri goes on the road for them. And then on the 3rd of March, they are also back on the road playing Oklahoma, another game. These two teams they've already beaten. And then the week after that, they finish up with Arkansas at home. So that is what the rest of the season looks like for the Tigers. I'll keep updating you. We'll keep doing shows about it as the season goes on. I appreciate you guys for being here. Missouri in a good spot. I think they should feel good. I think fans should feel good. They got work to do, but they have positioned themselves really well as the last stretch of the season is coming up. Thanks for being here. Have a happy Wednesday, and I'll see you next time.
365 Sports.